be able to block the media from being able to report it, being able to block those people from coming to the country in the first place. We never see how the asylum seekers coming to our policy is not actually ending the world. No, thank you. We think that being able to see both sides of a situation is absolutely important for justice. When you have acts of rebellion, so when you have people sneaking in to factory farms, when that is technically trespassing, to show that laws are being broken, and at the same time the Australian government is currently trying to pass laws that prevent people from reporting on practices that happens in slaughterhouses, whether people are abusing animals or not. So the people there are not being held to account, but some people are. Why? Because the agricultural lobby is incredibly powerful in Australia. At UK's POI, he asked, opening opposition, I believe, why we need victims. We asked the government, why can't we have martyrs for the sake of justice? Because, sorry. We think that because, victims are not always black and white, because we think that just because a crime exists, the perpetrator is always the bad guy, we think that policy should always be about always constantly revisiting the definition of a bad guy, a definition of a bad act. In what circumstances is or is this not okay? Because that is how we see laws change to best suit what is most important to that society. That is how we see the most justice enacted. Because if people can, the only way people can enact their democracy is by electing a limited number of parties every 3 to 4 years, when they only have, in reality, 2 choices, or in Japan, most times 1. We think that that means that people can't get their best interests represented. Because we stand for the best justice in the long term, we oppose.
Thank you very much. Steve, to close the government debate, I call on the government debate.
In the status quo, we can see the hidden program. We can see mainly the hidden program. This debate is about how should we tackle on the program. Contention coming the entire opposition side was we should use crime to find this hidden program. My partner clearly contributed to this point. There's no necessity to use crime to find this hidden program. Rather, we say, in order to, by preventing the crime, we can expose the fundamental core reason, the poverty and race education and so forth. In our paradigm, by stopping the crime, we can expose this fundamental program, and in our side we can provide better discussion about the program. In our side we can tackle on the core program in better way. This is a unique contribution coming from my partner. 2 issues in my speech. The first one, I want to examine what previous speaker had said. So she said the Australian government is actually is not best. The government doesn't always represent what citizens want to do. I want to deal with this point. The second one, I want to compare both paradigms. So which side can achieve the more good society to solve in order to solve the hidden program within society. So moving on first point, I want to deal with the previous speaker. Previous speaker said, so government does not always what citizens want to do. So that's why in our paradigm, government arbitrarily decide what is crime, what is not crime. This is harmful. This is a contention coming from entire opposition side. 3 responses to that. But first and foremost, Mr. Speaker, under their paradigm, if government doesn't function well, under their paradigm, government also creates the invalid law under their paradigm. So as a deputy leader opposition said, under the sodomy, in their paradigm, still sodomy law does exist. The people does not make the sexual intercourse with men and so forth. Under their paradigm, as if the government is incapable, they cannot do so. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, it's a crucial point. Under our paradigm, the people can can use the constitutional code. This is the crucial point under our paradigm. So in the United States, we have taken the amendment and Bill of Rights in the United States. So factually speaking, so we can change the constitution itself. If we can see the huge program, if we can see the demand to do so, in our paradigm, we can change the constitution from the beginning as fast as doesn't matter, Mr. Speaker. In our side, also to achieve this kind, we can also tackle on the program. No, thank you. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, so even if the government is not function well, so as long as majority people support, this government actually has incentive, has listened what majority people want to do. If these majority people choose the EV laws, the illegitimate law, it's a risk, it's an idea what citizens want to do. There's no necessity to discriminate this majority's idea from the beginning. No, thank you. So moving, yes.
If, as LG said, judiciary is corrupted and malfunctioning, politics are dominated by the rich, and law is decided by the majority, not minority, how can minority in your paradigm deal with those powers and acquire the rights?
Yeah, that's nice way to my second point. Which side can tackle on this the program? So at this point, Mr. Speaker, so I want to clarify what is unique contribution coming from my partner. So opening government mainly took us on the victims harm and so forth. But we have to the comparative. If we are talking about more broad perspective, we are talking about society. The society hidden the program. Victims program is one of the issues. So we are talking. My partner contribute to the more broad perspective in order to tackle on this kind of hidden program. We are talking about more the broad perspective. So at this point, the condition coming from the entire opposition side so in order to tackle on this hidden program, we need crime. This is the contention coming from the other side. But response coming from our side is without doing the committing the crime, so we can find this kind of program. What do I mean by that? For example, if someone steals some good, so at this moment, what majority think? People committed crime. That's why this guy is bad. So that's all. So we should punish these people committed crime to steal something. No, thank you. But under our paradigm, what happened? These people have necessity to steal someone, have to stab in our paradigm. At this moment, what majority would think? Majority think, oh, this guy is not bad guy. The society is bad. Society has not enough capacity to help this man and so forth. This kind of discourse rather happen in our paradigm because in their side we actually victimize these people and in order to finding this program. So that's why comparatively speaking, our side is more better. More than that, Mr. Speaker. So even they use the civil rights movement. Yes, maybe the Malcolm X used violent way, but Martin Luther King doesn't use, also the Gandhi doesn't use this violent activity. Even in our paradigm, these kind of people also can do so. So that's why there's no problem at first place. Yes.
Okay, Martin Luther King broke the law and sent to jail. Do you know even how?
Even if so my partners contribute to it already to this point in our comparative I want to deal with the opening opposition to Sneaky's case. So opening opposition says so in their side because Deputy leader opposition and leader opposition they completely support a different idea because on the other hand they say leader opposition says the government has enough capacity to choose what is legitimate law, what is illegitimate law. So that's why in their paradigm, but suddenly the Prime Minister said, so in their side, because people can commit civil disobedience, so that's why at the end of the day, the majority people can notice what happened in the society, what is the hidden program in the society. So according to their sneaky model, so in their side, the people doesn't commit this civil disobedience because government obviously bans this activity. Toward government, the civil disobedience is not a good thing. So that in their side is not good. Finally, Mr. Speaker, we have to recognize one important point, which all previous speakers completely forgotten, which my partners contribute to this the point. So in terms of the pragmatic necessity, the people are compared to the recognize these to the people are compared to legalize the something which principally harm the society that recognize. So legalizing these drugs, legalizing the gun trading is actually recognized bad thing. Maybe this activity that make more harm to the society. So majority of people recognize this fact. But unfortunately, in the status quo, this kind of the existence of black market that force people to legalize in order to tackle on this program. This is also the big social program because under their paradigm, that they actually make new reason, the new legalization which the majority of people does not support. It's also the corruption of the government in order to support consistency with government we oppose as well.
Thank you very much, Peach, to build the emphasize well at the core points of operation.
Mr. Speaker, hello ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to oppose to the government side because they said about court is corrupt, policy is corrupt, but government is okay, government decide the best choice for the citizens. But I don't think so. Why is that? Because if that they said about policy is also corrupt, it means they are saying rich people are dominating the parliament, it means the parliament is also corrupt. So that kind of dominated corrupt government cannot decide the best choice for the citizen always. So that's the reason why we should not take this proposal. I have two crash points today. First of all, after taking this proposal, the government can really decide the best choice for the citizen or not. And second of all, I'm going to talking about for the law-making system, what we really need. So let me move to my first crash point about the corrupt government really decide the best choice for the citizen or not. From the opening government, they said about the status quo, rich people are dominating the parliament by money, like using a lobbying or using a money power or the connection, etc. So it means that also the politician is corrupt. The corrupt politician is making the parliament, so it means parliament is also corrupt. And the parliament is a place which we are making it a law. In that case, we can say that that kind of the law is also corrupt. And by taking this proposal, government will subjectively decide that what is bad for the citizen, what is good for the citizen. We never see the, no thank you, we never see the question for the society that what is really bad and what is really good. And status quo is much more better. Why is that? Because unfortunately we have a crime and a crime happened. After that we have a discussion. We get our voice from the citizen. That kind of the discussion will show up the social problem. That kind of the problem can be an incentive for the society to change the law. So in that case, we can say that by changing the law, we can have more good society, right? So everyone is using that example, like Jean Valjean, well, he stole the bread. And because he's really starving, he's really poor, then he don't have the money to get a bread. That's the reason why he stole the bread. But behind the problem of the stealing, there is a clear problem from the society. Because of the government is so bad, that's the reason why he don't have the money. So by the Jean Valjean steal the money, the government of the France can understand that poverty is so problematic. That can be an incentive to change the law. That can be an incentive to change the society. No, thank you. So after taking this proposal, from the opening government side say that corrupt government will subjectively decide what is the best thing for the citizens. But why the corrupt government can decide the best thing for the citizen? It is really arbitrary decision, isn't it? Thank you. So we don't think that kind of a government can decide the best choice for the citizen. I have two reasons. first of all, never discussion will happen in the society. Second of all, social responsibility. Society never feel the responsibility for that kind of the government. So, okay.
Okay, if you distrust the government, do you follow opening opposition's counter model of a selective application of the law? If so, you're knifing. If not, show me counter model or whatever.
I'm not knifing. So, really back to my model. We have two examples. We cannot choose the best choice for the citizens. First of all, never discussion will happen. After taking this proposal, government will decide subjectively what is bad, what is good. So citizens never understand. Citizens will decide one-sidedly the benefit of the crime, the harm of the crime, and they never get a benefit from benefit of the discourse, benefit of the discussion. So we never had a discussion from the society. And secondly, no thank you. Secondly, the society will lose the incentive to feel the responsibility. It means society will also lose the incentive to change the social norm or to change the social problem. So that's the reason why by taking this proposal, government will make not best way, and that not best way will make the worse society. And moreover, they said about rich people are dominating the parliament. So it means, for example, that poor people exist in the society, and the poor people will, for example, caused by the exploitation by the rich people, and the rich people don't want government to help them because they will lose the actor to exploitation. So the government will get a lobbying from the rich people, and that can be an incentive to hide the problem of the society. And that means that we never come up with the social problem, so we never can help that kind of the poor people. And closing government so that we can focus on more about the social problem. But as I told you before, that kind of the corruption will happen. We can never focus on the social problem. We can never solve them. No, thank you. So let me move to my second crash point about the law-making process, what we need. First of all, my partner clearly told you we have to independent parliament and court and police. Why is that? Because the parliament is corrupt. The court will parliament is bad. Court will check about that law is good for the constitution or not. But in our model, like by taking this proposal, status quo, court is always thinking about the case by case. Even if murder is bad in the society, but there is some reason murder is bad, but there is some reason we have to allow the murder, we have to reduce the sin of them. For example, to protect myself, there is some rapist, and to protect myself, in that kind of the case, murder is illegal, but still that can be justifiable. So in that case, court should be case by case always. But by taking this proposal and case by case, and Parliament will see that kind of each case and build a law. So that can bring the good law making. But after taking this proposal, one-sided review will happen. We cannot achieve to the good society. Thank you very much.